The evidence is mounting. The indisputable documentation of the power of the Peak Performance Pack continues to grow at a rapid pace. Melaleuca just finished its 4th human study in this astounding product. The first 3, the Freiberg study, the Sterling study, and the deprivation study, measured several key health markers in 2 groups of healthy individuals after they had consistently used the standard Peak Performance Pack for a period of 12 weeks. This new 4th study was not a 12-week study, but a 12-month study focused on the Peak Performance Heart Health Pack, rather than just the standard Peak Performance Pack. And just like the first 3 studies, the results were far beyond anything the scientific community has ever seen, proving that there is nothing like the Peak Performance Pack anywhere in the world. Never before has any nutritional supplement produced results in human studies that would suggest that a supplement would help people defy aging and stay significantly younger longer. There is nothing like the Peak. When our scientists created the Peak Performance Pack, their intent and purpose was to specifically design a nutritional supplement that would greatly slow down the formation of free radicals that occur in our daily lives. Melaleuca scientists had already invented the patented process called oligo, which delivers minerals to the human body in the same way that plants deliver minerals, making them much more absorbable. Then they coupled that science with other Melaleuca discoveries, like Provec CV, that was developed by testing a number of grape seed and grape skin extracts to see which species of grapes could produce the most beneficial results. Melaleuca scientists then partnered with several world-renowned scientists who were experts in the field of free radicals. Then they consulted with others who were experts in various antioxidants, which slow down free radical activity. It took several years before they finally determined the most effective formula. But even then, they were not done. Just deciding which specific nutrients to use was not enough. After identifying the best natural nutrients to effectively curb free radicals, they then paid attention to every single factor that makes each nutrient most effective, so it can unleash its most beneficial power. They studied which natural source was the best from which to obtain each natural nutrient. They directed how each nutrient should be extracted from its natural source and how it should be processed. Next, they identified the best supplier for each ingredient. Following that, they visited each supplier separately to inspect and qualify the facilities and production processes. Finally, they directed how each nutrient should be stored and transported. In other words, Melaleuca controls the temperature, the moisture, and every other factor that affects potency, protecting each nutrient and keeping it in an optimal environment so it remains fresh and powerfully effective. And in the process, they created the Peak Performance Pack. We were not surprised when, soon after we introduced the Peak Performance Pack, stories of its effectiveness started coming in. By the hundreds! We had strong evidence the very first month. But anecdotal stories are not science, and individual experiences are not considered absolute proof. So, in order to verify that our scientists had accomplished their goal of curbing free radicals and substantially improving long-term health, we commissioned outside third-party experts to conduct a series of human studies. It was important to use scientists other than those who created the Peak Performance Pack to conduct the clinical studies. Our goal was to accumulate an irrefutable stack of scientific evidence documenting the true power of the Peak Performance Pack. Melaleuca first commissioned the Freiberg study. The lead researcher of the Freiberg study was German scientist Dr. Bruno Fink. Why Dr. Fink? Dr. Fink is a medical doctor. But more than that, he is also one of the world's foremost experts in the field of free radical science. In fact, Dr. Fink is a pioneer in developing technologies used around the globe to accurately measure free radicals in human blood. Additionally, he had access to specialized laboratory facilities at the University of Freiburg in Freiburg, Germany. Much of the analysis in the original Freiberg study was completed using those laboratories. Therefore, we call it the Freiberg study. The Freiberg study measured the health factors most heavily impacted over time by free radicals. The scientists performing the study used the exact markers medical doctors measure to determine how fast their patients are aging and how likely it is that their patients are going to be impacted by any of the degenerative diseases caused by free radicals. These diseases include heart disease, Alzheimer's, dementia, diabetes, arthritis, cancer, rheumatism, and other conditions that often result from the aging process. There is no way that we can ever be absolutely assured that we will not be afflicted by any of these conditions. Our best hope is to reduce the likelihood by a rigorous regimen of daily exercise and proper nutrition. The Freiberg study was conducted with 48 healthy human subjects of various ages. The scientists measured 25 key health markers that are predictive of longevity and health. These markers were specifically selected because science has proven that if we can improve these markers, we will likely live significantly longer and have healthier and more vibrant lives. The results of the Freiberg study were astounding. Participants in the Freiberg study saw significant improvements in all 25 of the key health markers measured in the study, demonstrating that the Peak Performance Pack had an incredibly significant impact in improving the markers of already healthy human beings. But what's more astounding, the Peak Performance Pack had an even greater effect on those individuals who were more at risk. Never in history had a nutritional supplement produced these kinds of results. Free radicals in the blood were reduced a remarkable 21.8% while resting, and reduced 26.3% during exercise. Additionally, in the mitochondria of the cells, your cell's power plant, free radicals dropped 55.9% at rest and 50.4% during exercise. Resistance to inflammation increased 22.1%. The hsCRP marker, an indicator of inflammation, dropped 21.3%. Total cholesterol dropped 7.6%. LDL, or bad cholesterol, dropped 8.1%, while HDL, or good cholesterol, increased 9.1%. Triglycerides dropped an impressive 18.5%. Systolic blood pressure decreased 6.3%, and diastolic blood pressure decreased 6%. Nitric oxide, an element responsible for relaxing blood vessels, increased an astonishing 135.3%. Heart rate after exercise dropped a full 9 beats per minute, illustrating the improved efficiency of the cardiovascular system. Blood glucose, or blood sugar spike after eating a meal, dropped an incredible 44.3%. A1C, another measurement of blood sugar metabolism, dropped 4.2%. And the HOMA index, a measure of insulin sensitivity, dropped 18.9%. But Melaleuca was not done. We needed more studies. The results of the Freiberg study were so extraordinary that we needed to substantiate it. So we commissioned the Sterling study. The Sterling study measured the same key health markers over the course of 12 weeks, but this time it was conducted not in Europe, but in America, with a more ethnically diverse range of participants, and it was performed by an entirely different group of third-party scientists. And once again, participants saw dramatic improvements to their health on every factor, totally validating the findings of the Freiberg study. We also knew it would be important to learn what happens if someone taking the Peak Performance Pack stops using it. So we conducted another study. The third-party scientists who conducted the Freiberg study had the participants of the Freiberg study stop using the Peak Performance Pack for 12 weeks. We call this study the deprivation study. After 12 weeks of no supplementation, we tested them again. It was as we expected. From the deprivation study, we learned that after someone stops using the Peak Performance Pack, their health markers return to what they were prior to supplementation. The Peak Performance Pack provides the ideal combination of 6 proprietary and patented supplements that target free radicals, help reduce inflammation, and provide optimal nutrition to every major system of the body. It all starts with Vitality Multivitamin and Mineral, powered by Oligo, to improve absorption and reduce free radicals. Cellwise provides a proprietary blend of carefully selected antioxidants that stop free radicals in their tracks. Provex CV adds an additional layer of antioxidant protection and helps maintain healthy blood pressure while improving circulation. Recover AI promotes a healthy inflammatory response. CardioMega EPA supports optimal cardiovascular performance and additional anti-inflammatory response. And Florify is a powerful probiotic that supports digestive health and boosts immunity. And every single formula is exclusive to Melaleuca. By design, the Freiberg and Sterling studies were only 12 weeks long. So another question loomed. Would long-term use of the Peak Performance Pack continue to provide the same benefits over a much longer period of time? That's exactly what we sought to find out with the latest study. Instead of lasting 12 weeks, this latest study lasted 12 months. And rather than testing the standard Peak Performance Pack, we decided to test the Heart Health version of the Peak Performance Pack. Therefore, we call it the Heart Health Study. The Heart Health Study involved 26 participants evenly split between men and women, with an average age of 50. All lived an active lifestyle and were in good health. These were individuals who you'd normally think don't need to worry about heart health. But just wait until you see their results. Participants in this study took the Heart Health version of the Peak Performance Pack. In addition to the 6 Melaleuca supplements found in the standard Peak Performance Pack, the Heart Health Pack also includes Phytomega to reduce total cholesterol absorption, CoQ10 Plus to fuel the efficient functioning of your heart, and vitamin K2D3 to help protect cardiovascular function. In the Heart Health Study, participants took the Peak Performance Heart Health Pack twice a day for a full year. Once again, the results were nothing short of astonishing. And once again, the Peak Performance Pack was shown to be extremely effective in reducing free radicals and inflammation. The average participant in the Heart Health Study experienced the following results. Free radicals in the blood were reduced by 7.3%. Mitochondrial free radicals saw a dramatic 73.2% reduction. Inflammation resistance improved an incredible 59%. The HS-CRP marker dropped 27.3%. Since inflammation of the cardiovascular system is associated with heart disease, this reduction could have a profound effect on heart health. Additionally, there was significant impact on health markers directly tied to heart health, like blood pressure, cholesterol, and circulation. Subjects with slightly elevated blood pressure saw a drop of 5.1% in systolic blood pressure and a 3.2% reduction in diastolic blood pressure. In healthy subjects with higher cholesterol levels, total cholesterol dropped 8.1%. LDL, or bad cholesterol, dropped an incredible 15.2% for the same group. And HDL, or good cholesterol, rose 5.8%. While markers like blood pressure and cholesterol are the health markers most of us associate with good heart health, there are other less known but even more important markers essential to a healthy heart. 16 heart health markers were tested in the Heart Health Study. They were chosen because they were the primary markers in determining long-term heart health, and subjects saw improvements in every single one. These new markers included flow-mediated dilation, that measures endothelial function by recording how fast blood flows after vessel constriction. This marker saw a 12.3% increase. Participants who started the study with low flow-mediated dilation markers, signifying endothelial dysfunction, improved by 42.7% by the end of the study. Aortic stiffness, which measures how quickly your arteries are aging, showed a 2.8% improvement for the entire group, and an 8.1% improvement for those who started with a less than ideal baseline. Aortic stiffness was also measured by a reflection coefficient index. Those in the elevated group saw an 8.6% improvement. Resting heart rate, which is a significant indication of how long we can expect to live, decreased 4.8 beats per minute among those with elevated aortic stiffness. It is estimated that life expectancy will increase by 1 year for every 1 beat per minute decrease in resting heart rate. Using that formula, the study participants could expect almost 5 more years of life if they continue using the Peak Performance Pack, and heart rate during exercise decreased 6.8 beats per minute, indicating improved cardiovascular efficiency and athletic performance, even though the participants had not increased their athletic activity during the study. Vitamin D levels in the blood, which is another important marker and predictor of cardiovascular health, improved 26% for the entire group and 83.1% for those who started with lower vitamin D levels. Nitric oxide was also measured. Nitric oxide is especially critical because it relaxes your muscles, so your blood vessels work better, are more flexible, and allow more oxygen to move through your body, improving not only the function of your heart, but of all your major organs and systems. In the Heart Health Study, subjects saw their circulating nitric oxide levels increase 75.6%. Yes, you heard that right, 75.6%. And remember, that was in an already healthy population. Those that began the study with lower nitric oxide levels saw an increase of 198.8%. We know that sounds unbelievable, but that's exactly what the study revealed. Improving these health markers means a lot more than just avoiding cardiovascular complications. These health markers have a direct impact on how long you are likely to live and on how vibrant your life will be. These markers affect your daily energy levels, your ability to build muscle, the health of your cardiovascular system, how you handle stress, the strength of your immune system, your cognitive health, and even your mood. In short, they'll not only help you live a longer, more vibrant life, they'll ensure you have the energy to enjoy it and make the most of every minute of it. It's well known that no other product can offer these results. Numerous studies on the national brands ranging from the cheap one-a-day and Centrum brands all the way to the most expensive supplements on the market have been proven time and again to have virtually no benefit to people's health. That's because they don't have the benefits of Alligo and the proprietary extract blends of proanthocyanins, or Cellwise, or Provex CV, or Florify, or any of the other many exclusive ingredients and technologies that Melaleuca has included in the Peak Performance Pack. And once again, the results were far beyond anything scientists have ever seen in the history of nutritional supplementation research. There is simply no other nutritional supplement in the world that delivers results like the Peak Performance Pack. The Heart Health Study is yet one more exhibit of profound evidence of the Peak Performance Pack's impact on long-term health and well-being. And we believe the longer you take it, the greater benefits you'll see. Take the example of Melaleuca CEO Frank Vandersloot. He's been taking Melaleuca supplements for more than 30 years and the Peak Performance Pack since it was developed. For his 70th birthday, Frank set out to prove the power of the Peak Performance Pack. He has never been an athlete, works a desk job, travels a lot, and works out no more than 2 or 3 times a week, and then for no more than 20 to 30 minutes at a time. He decided to challenge the world record in the 100-meter indoor row. These world records are traditionally held by world-renowned athletes who have spent their entire lives in bodybuilding and who work out for several hours a day, 7 days a week. Frank grew up on a farm and ran track in high school, but was not the fastest kid on the team, and no one would consider him an athlete. He fully admits that most of the bodybuilders his age were at one time much stronger than he has ever been, but he believes that with the help of the Peak Performance Pack, he has been aging much more slowly than they have. Frank was right. On his 70th birthday, he shaved a whopping 7% off the previous record and set a new world record of 14.4 seconds in the 100-meter row. Since then, he has broken 5 more world records for his age group in other indoor rowing events. What is the likelihood that a non-athletic CEO with a desk job and a very sparse workout schedule would be breaking world records that were originally established by world-renowned athletes? Frank is the first to point out that his experience, by itself, should not be considered a scientific study, because it only involves one person. Nonetheless, his story is convincing evidence that the Peak Performance Pack is reducing the speed at which Frank is aging.
Everybody that's taken the Peak Performance Pack has a story. You have your own story. We'd like to collect your story and add them all together. And over time, we'll have some irrefutable evidence about the power of this phenomenal product. It's time people learned about the Peak Performance Pack. Thanks for tuning in today.
Every Peak user has their own story, and it's your story that matters the most. When you combine everyone's story, it will become scientific evidence. Over time, as the evidence continues to mount, the world will come to know of the Peak Performance Pack's powerful impact in helping us stay younger longer. We suggest that before using the Peak Performance Pack, you go see your doctor. Get the results of your own tests on these very important health markers. Then take Peak Performance consistently for several months. Then get tested again. And you will have all of the evidence that you need. Write to us. Let us add your story to the thousands of stories that are building every day about the evidence of the Peak Performance Pack. The effects of the Peak Performance Heart Health Pack have already been felt by thousands of customers. The research is indisputable. Now we have not one, not two, but 3 complete human clinical studies, plus the deprivation study, that make it clear that the Peak Performance Pack can help you live a longer, healthier, happier, more vibrant life. In other words, it can add years to your life and life to your years. It's now been proven in 4 major clinical studies. The Peak Performance Pack. It's patent pending, and only Melaleuca has it. Now that's worth sharing.